Hi, my name is Juan Escobar. My topic today will be solitary confinement, and my title is Being Stuck Inside a Box. I'll show you guys a brief video.
Welcome to solitary confinement. This is at most an 8 by 10 cement box, and this is where you'll be living for 23 hours a day.
So, being in solitary confinement has a major mental, emotional, and social impact on prisoners. As you just saw in the video, prisoners are alone in a cell for days, months, or even decades. Today, more than 80,000 Americans are in solitary confinement, being cut off from all types of human contact, subject to what might be the most extreme prison environment ever designed. Some say it's the only way to handle the worst prisoners. It may even be considered worse than physical abuse. Others may say it's completely necessary to be able to handle these types of prisoners. Now think, have you ever been completely alone? Not even strangers around? Remember when we were growing up and it was the summertime but we had nothing to do? Too tired to even watch TV, so you just stared blankly at the ceiling, and it was so boring and overwhelming. Well, some prisoners do that for days, weeks, and even months. These prisoners are absolutely alone, seeing only minimal sunlight, feeling the wind, or not even being able to see the sky. The emotional toll this must cause on prisoners must be extremely harsh. Being in solitary confinement can have devastating effects on people. Today I will talk to you about some of the effects and examine what benefits solitary confinement has. And let's start by examining what exactly the conditions are like in solitary confinement. To understand how traumatizing it might be, we have to understand the environment they face on a day-by-day basis. With only a 15 computer-controlled shower and a 1-hour gym session, they spend about 23 hours a day in an 8 by 10 cell in complete isolation. And every detail is completely designed to minimize social interaction. Meals are brought into the inmates through slots in the cell doors. Average stay is about 2 years, maybe less or more, depending on the situation or the charges and their behavior. Now, a quote from John Cacioppo, social neuroscientist from the University of Chicago, stated, "Loneliness is very much like pain. It has evolved over time to change our behavior so that we connect with others, which is necessary for our survival." Meaning the brain processes loneliness in the same area as physical pain. Being cut off from others can hurt an individual so much more that people will go to extreme measures in order to be able to connect. Some inmates will try and talk to anyone who might be listening through a crack in a wall or a vent. Some will hide notes inside of books and hope another inmate finds it. Of course, no communication is allowed between inmates, so if they get caught, time can be added to their sentence in solitary confinement. All kinds of prisoners can be placed into solitary confinement for both good and bad reasons. Bad reasons can be from serious infractions like fighting or minor ones, like talking back to a guard or getting caught with a pack of cigarettes. It all varies with the prisoner itself and those individuals who determine the rules. In the United States, there are about 5% of all male prisoners are in solitary confinement and 2% of all female prisoners are in solitary. The most time spent in solitary confinement is 1 to 3 months on average, and even those who only spend 15 to 1 days experience psychological problems. In 2014, sample offenses resulting in solitary were shown. Now, solitary confinement does have its toll on an individual, emotional and mental well-being. But what good comes from solitary confinement? Not everyone who steps foot into solitary confinement has committed a horrible crime. It is not always from punishment. Some individuals need protection from the general public. Prisoners who are considered murderers, child molesters, and even ex-gang members are typically separated from the general public, making it more difficult to harm one another. It can also be the other way around. We are protecting the general public, inmates, from criminals like the ones listed from lashing out and harming others who are simply there for petty crimes. I find its specific detail extremely important. It provides work personnel safety from dangerous inmates. I know we have all seen those jail shows that show officers being attacked by inmates, etc. But what is the worst thing they experience? Solitary confinement can provide those employees and officers safety from dangerous prisoners who are just mad at the world around them. In regard to the inmates, solitary confinement may aid in the reformation of prisoner characters. According to Dr. Sharon Shady, solitary confinement was first widely and systematically used on both sides of the Atlantic in the separate and silent penitentiaries of the 19th century. With the aim of reforming convicts, it was believed that once left alone with the Bible and the conscience, prisoners would engage in inner reflection. Solitary confinement can be used as some sort of timeout for prisoners so they have time to think about their actions and decisions without having other inmates investigating the situation. That's it? Huh?